What's up, everybody? It's Dono. So I got a question in my Facebook inbox that asked basically, what do I have to do to get a record deal? So that's what we're going to be talking about today, is what it takes to get signed to a record label. Now, I don't have a record deal, so you might want to take what I say with a grain of salt. However, I do have some very strong opinions on it. And honestly, the only way that you're ever going to get a record deal or have an opportunity for getting one is to work your ass off. You just have to grind every day, promote your music everywhere you go, get it out there, consistently work on stuff. It's really an effort. The chances of you just randomly being found without doing any effort, you just make music and don't share it with anybody or push it anywhere, are almost zero. So you have to be out there actively pushing your music, getting into the right positions, meeting people, talking to people, sharing your talents. Otherwise, you're not just going to be found. That's not how it works. Now, there's really two parts to being a rapper, and a lot of people miss the first part. There's the actual rapping part, which, you have to actually have some kind of skill and develop your talent. But there's also the fact that you have to market yourself. You have to get yourself out there. And this ties into record labels or record deals, because if you don't have any following, labels are not going to want to pick you up. At the core, a record label is a business. They're looking to make money. So the more fans and influence you bring to the table, the more likely they're going to be interested, because they know they can make money there. And I'm not saying that all labels are only worried about money, but they are a business. They have to be profitable. They have to make money. They're not just going to sign someone because they're good if they don't think that the music has any chance of making money. So the more successful you are and the more that you grind and hustle on your own, the more likely they are to pick you up. You also have to consider, let's say that you do have a big following and a label approaches you. You need to look at the details of what they're actually offering, because like I said, they're a business, and there's some out there that will give you a good deal. They have, resources to help promote you more, to help you make music, stuff like that. However, if you're getting approached by a label, that means that you have some kind of talent. You have some leverage to negotiate with. So don't just, accept the first thing that you get without looking through the details and seeing if it's a good deal or not. I've heard too many horror stories of people getting themselves into deals that aren't very good for them at all, and the label gets all of the money. They get all the benefit. Now, I'm not saying that every label is like that. There's a lot of labels out there too that are looking for a synergistic relationship where both of you can get something out of it. They have a new artist to promote, you get some extra resources to get your music out there. That's great. You just need to pay attention to how the split is going, because like I said, they are businesses, and some of them don't have any problem really ripping you off. The other thing is, if you're getting approached by one label, chances are that you're good enough or have enough following that many labels are gonna be interested, or at least several. Use that to your advantage. Try to reach out, get more offers, try to, see what things you can do. And really, at the end of the day, if it's not a deal that's good for you, there's no reason to take it. You can still gain a following and still be successful without going through a label. With all the resources that we have nowadays, with like Facebook and SoundCloud and all these different things, you can build a following without forcing yourself into a contract. It's just something to consider. When you do have the opportunity, you want to make sure that it's a good deal. These days, there's a lot of artists out there who are doing really well just independently, doing their own independent hustle. So, especially if marketing and business are the types of things that appeal to you, you might want to consider just being independent. But again, to answer the question, how do you actually get these opportunities? You have to be out there. You have to be active. You don't just randomly get picked up. That doesn't happen. You have to push out. You have to gain your own following. You have to be doing your own independent thing, getting in the right positions, talking to people, and then these opportunities show up. That doesn't mean it's going to happen immediately, but the process is what's important. Is if you're out there and you're working and you're doing stuff and you're sharing and you're growing, then people are going to recognize you. It doesn't really help for you to go, oh, you know, I'm just kind of making my music. I'm not really pushing hard to market it or do anything. I just know it's good. So eventually someone's going to find it and they'll sign me and blah, blah, blah. It's not going to happen. You have to work on your own and do your own things to get noticed. So if that's your goal, you need to come with a plan for how you're going to grow your audience and how you're going to expand your reach so that labels think you're a good investment for them. And then again, look at the details, make sure you know what's going on. That's really all I've got for today. It's really all I've got for what you need to do to get on a label. There is some luck involved, but mostly it's a lot of hard work. Beyond that, if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, things that you want me to cover, feel free to leave them down in the comment box and I will get to them. Beyond that, don't forget to check out my music promotion site, noteis.us. I've also got a t-shirt store, Snap merch. I'll give you the links to both of those, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on the videos. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, put them down in the comment box and I'll get to them as quick as possible. See you guys.